down. Welcome to the show that's more fun than a bag of wasps. I am your host, Garrett Ray, and with me are three wonderful people. First up is Katie Fain. Hello, Katie.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, you are. Second is Abby Kate.
Hi.
Whose name I almost forgot right there.
What? I'm insulted.
I know. Names are very hard for me.
Apparently.
And last but certainly not least is Micah Warberman. And last but certainly not least is Micah Martinez. Welcome to the show, Micah.
Thanks.
So, every week we go and we watch a movie, and then we sit down and we say words about that movie, and that's this show. So, also we do news. Speaking of which, I'm going to do that now. Everybody ready?
We're ready.
Okay, I have for you the best piece of news that's ever happened. Sharknado 5 is happening.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
I know, because you called me the other day, midnight, and you were just like, man, I'm really worried that The Force Awakens will be the last Sharknado movie.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that we were able to clear this up for you so early on in the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been not sleeping for weeks.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't related to this at all, but you weren't sleeping.
Yeah.
That's why you're calling me at ungodly hours of the night.
Yeah.
So that's a little piece of throwaway news just for fun. But Tara Reid is coming back, so her career's not dead, I guess. Don't know.
Okay.
Cool. So Ben Affleck is no longer directing the Batman movie.
What?
Nobody
saw that coming.
It is not news without news about the DC universe going to pieces. And this is definitely no exception this week. Ben Affleck has said, there are certain characters who hold a special place in the hearts of millions. Performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It has become clear that I cannot do both jobs at the level they require, Affleck said in a statement on Monday. Together with the studio, I have decided to find a partner and a director who will collaborate with me on this massive film.
That was massive. A terrible impression.
It sounded like Keanu Reeves. Now I'm really glad that Batman is not Keanu Reeves. I would be very upset.
I'm giving you a glimpse into an alternate reality where Keanu Reeves is not starring in John Wick, but instead is Batman.
Oof, he's not good.
Yeah. At least we never got Nicolas Cage as Superman. That was a real thing. Did you know about that?
No. Of course it was. He was almost every role that is.
Mm-hmm. In the 1990s, Tim Burton was going to direct a Superman movie, and one of the requirements from the studio, one of the studio heads, was that Superman couldn't fly, and he had to fight a giant spider at the end of the movie. So
those are the main points.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
It's Superman, Nicolas Cage, no flying giant spider. Make the movie. And so yeah, that didn't happen. Thank God.
Yeah, no kidding.
What is Superman without flying? He's just like a lame Captain America. Or lame Hulk.
He's just a
person. This is with laser eyes.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
He's man.
Oh, he's also got his super breath.
Super breath.
Which is it's such a dumb power.
Really dumb.
Is it, what's your power? Super breath.
He's just a creep then.
Things.
Okay.
Like you're on the phone with them, and they, well, can you give me an example of your power?
That was pretty good. You're hired.
Cool. So what's the job again? It's most definitely cleanup of
to blow up fires.
You're a fireman.
And I huff and I blow a fire out.
We went fairy tales there. That was 0 to 100 so quick. So anyway, back to the Batman movie. The script has already had a rewrite by Chris Terry, who was the writer of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And there have been some concerns that things are going to change massively because Affleck was working on the script before, and now there's this guy doing the rewrite. But Chris Terry actually works with Affleck a lot, so there's there's a camaraderie there. He knows what Affleck would want, and so he'll probably still be working a lot with him on it. It's just not that Affleck is taking responsibility for it if it goes terribly, terribly wrong. So, the apparent frontrunner for the new director is Matt Reeves, who directed the new Planet of the Apes films.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
So, yeah, I like those movies a lot.
Those are good
I like
movies.
them a lot.
They make me really, really sad.
Yeah, The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is too long of a title. I love that movie so much. I cried. I'm not afraid to say it.
Definitely.
And I didn't cry because of any of the humans. They can die. I don't care. But Caesar?
Yeah.
War is here. It's just like, no!
Yeah.
But very good movies, very good movies. I would be excited to see a Batman movie directed by Matt Reeves, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm totally on board with that.
Definitely.
So, where was I going?
No one knows.
Batman stuff.
Actually, that's the end of the Batman news.
Okay. Well,
Batman.
Yeah. Let's just get Adam West back in there. Forget having a new Batman, an older grizzled Batman. We'll just have Grandpa Batman in the retirement home. And the Joker is just stealing people's teeth to make his little toys. And Batman's like, what could be going on? Moving on. The Disney CEO, Bob Iger, has seen Star Wars The Last Jedi. So they've got a cut of the film. And Bob Iger has seen this, and he says it's a great next chapter in the iconic Skywalker family saga. But to be fair, you're the CEO of Disney. You're not going to be like, yeah, it kind of sucked.
yeah, it was okay.
It was okay.
Unimpactful.
There were some lightsabers, I guess.
Give me money.
There were colors.
Some were red. Some were blue. I may have saw a hint of puce somewhere.
There was some oboe music. It was Star Wars.
Is that Star Wars for you? You think you see an oboe and you go, oh, lightsabers.
Well, Williams uses the oboe well.
That's true.
He does.
He's a master of the oboe and French horn. He likes to throw little flares in, but like just the right amount.
Mm-hmm.
I love French horn though. I'm biased because I played French horn in high school,
Oh.
middle school, so not well, but I did play it. So we're still 10 months out from the release of The Last Jedi, and special effects work and all that's got to be completed. But they've got a rough cut of the film, and if it does look this good, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If Bob Iger's not just trying to sell tickets here and he's serious, like it actually is a really good next thing, then I'm on board. What is exciting is that J.J. Abrams, when he directed The Force Awakens and then he stepped away from doing another one, it's the only movie that he's ever seen the script of and then said, I wish I was directing that one instead of whatever project he's working on.
Wow.
That's really exciting to me. I love J.J. Abrams. He's got his flaws. He's not a perfect director. Lens flares, just calm down, bro. But
Coming from the person who loves lens flares.
in still photography. I pulled it back, though, for you.
Yeah.
Marriage, if marriage has done anything to me, it's tamed my love of lens flares.
Thank God for that.
So, do you guys like the Terminator?
Yes.
There was a lot of pause there.
Well, I was thinking about the most
Abby, why are
recent
you
one
on?
I've seen.
Because I haven't seen it.
You
Me
haven't
neither.
seen the Terminator? Cool. Well, then you guys won't care about this, but there is a Terminator board game in production.
Oh, good. Is it Terminator Monopoly? Because there's a Monopoly for everything. I don't get the appeal.
Well,
Disney Monopoly.
Yeah, the Beatles Monopoly. What even is that?
the Beatles Monopoly?
It's a thing.
That's
Someone
just-
gave it to us. You know how people are
Go
around
to
Christmas.
a concert. You know how people are on Christmas.
Yeah, there's like, oh, you like this thing? I'll get you Monopoly of it. It's like, no, it's just Monopoly.
And why is there always a relevant Monopoly?
Yeah,
Like-
they're just constantly pushing out.
Except for sanitation workers. There's no sanitation Monopoly
There probably is.
somewhere out there. Well, would you like to hear the description of the game?
Sure.
Sure.
It is
Not really.
so sassy right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're like a 47.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so this game is described as an asymmetrical strategy game played across two boards, one in 1984 and one in 2029.
Oh,
Oh,
my god! As
no.
if Terminator wasn't confusing enough.
So the Terminator board game, or I would say boards game because there's two of them, allows one player to control Skynet's machine army while the opposing player controls members of the human resistance. Skynet's forces will consist of things like the Flying Hunter Killers, the Terminator Endoskeletons, and a few original robot designs. So they're just like, hey, we're making a board game. You just make a robot. It'd be great. It's unclear exactly how the human side will be visually represented, though, because the makers have not specified whether the game includes the likenesses of actors like Linda Hamilton or Michael Biehn? That Michael guy that's in Terminator.
Yeah.
So, but the game is being made via Kickstarter, and the campaign goes live on February 15th. So if you want to get in and get your Terminator board game, you can get on the ground floor now. I'm sure they'll throw in a couple extra robots for no good reason.
Nice.
If you buy it now. But actually, I'm kind of interested to see how it works. Like if it's actually any good. I'm not a big board game person, but Katie is.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that though.
Okay, so I guess we're going back to playing Sorry and throwing the board game across the living room.
That was you.
I know.
It was just funny because you said it and it sounded like it was Katie who threw the board game.
Well, given her tone right now, you'd think so.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why it's amusing.
But no, it's definitely me.
Cool.
So, have you guys seen the Wonder Woman trailer that showed before the movie we're
Yes.
talking about this week?
Yes.
And
Not specifically before the movie we're talking about, but I have seen a Wonder Woman trailer. It might be a different one.
okay, Michael, what do you think about the Wonder Woman trailer that you have seen that might be a different one?
It looks terrible.
There was so much uncertainty and like despair in that one noise.
Like the whole thing with her home planet and stuff. It looks like it's just gonna be a gaudy piece of trash.
Man. There is a lot of reports that it's kind of a mess from people who have like seen early screenings and were on set. They said this is not going to be good. Mm-hmm. But I do like the music.
It looks entertaining, like super entertaining, but it's probably going to be
But
awful.
It looks entertaining, but then again, you can make a trailer. You can make a movie.
Make anything look entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling it'll just be like any other superhero movie, you know. You'll have like witty remarks here and there. You'll have some action. You'll have fun through the whole thing, but you won't remember anything. And there will be a lot of parts where you're like, all right, that was stupid. But yeah, that's probably what it's going to amount to.
Yeah.
See, you don't remember movies after you watch them, but I do.
I remember movies. I don't remember superhero movies because
Okay.
they're the same and they're mostly trash.
Now that's
They're enjoyable trash. It's like fast food.
Like cotton candy.
Yeah.
Ooh, cotton candy.
It
I
gets
like
in your
cotton
mouth
candy.
and you like it, but then it disappears.
Forever.
Have you seen that video of that raccoon?
I love that video.
Someone gives this raccoon cotton candy and then he like sets it in the water and is like, I gotta look at this over here real quick. And he comes back and he goes, where'd it go? And he's just like trying to find it like it's saying, but it's just gone.
I haven't seen it,
and it's so sad.
I will show
I
it
just
to
want
you.
to give him all the cotton candy.
It's the best thing I've ever. That's better than the baby panda sneezing
His
by
little
far.
hands.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
like, what
I
happened?
love raccoons.
So,
I look like a raccoon in the morning sometimes.
I always look like a raccoon without concealer.
if there are any artists listening to this, draw us pictures of Abby and Katie looking like raccoons. I want to know what you guys think that looks like.
Or if you, they don't really know what we look like.
Just
unless
make
they-
something up
Yeah,
and
we can look it up.
then tweet it
A
to us.
person.
It's not hard to find us on the Solar Flight page.
Yeah.
Yeah. But tweet us those pictures at Roll Sound Pod. It'll be lots and lots of fun.
I've seen a picture of Micah and I as cats. His
Oh.
sister drew
What?
it. Did you ever see that?
No.
I want to see this.
Is there any way we could get a copy of that picture?
Probably not. She probably threw it away.
Oh man, I was gonna. I want to tweet that out.
Right?
I'll just badly Photoshop your heads on the cats and tweet that instead.
This is what she drew.
It's very lifelike until the head is there.
Yeah.
It was super cute.
Anyway. So I don't have a ton of hope for Wonder Woman because of the reports I've heard and because I saw the trailer and was just like, there was one tone throughout the trailer and then at the end they tack on this, I'm not afraid to engage in fisticuffs if I must. That little, her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what is with her accent? Is that just I know she's Israeli, Gal Gadot is, but is that an Israeli accent or
It
is
doesn't
that
sound like it.
I didn't think so either.
You know what I bet it's going to be too? Like, she's going to have that accent because she's like an alien from her planet, but then everybody on her planet, you know what accent they're going to have?
English.
Vague English.
Yep. British. I'm sorry, I said
Everybody.
English, but
yeah,
It's
British
an
English.
accent.
yep. Is an English accent acceptable? Is that
Yeah,
okay to
that's
say?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People from England.
I thought I
English.
was going to start, the next Revolutionary War there. And be like, I say.
We're good for now. You're not that important.
Oh, that's such a relief.
Yeah, right?
I'm so relieved to not be important.
hmm It's a lot of pressure.
So, have you guys seen any of the Smurfs movies?
No.
No,
And I thank
rather
God
not.
that I haven't, because the trailers make me nauseous.
The look on Micah's face makes me feel like he did see it because there was so much hatred.
No, I've just seen commercials. That's all I need. That's more than I need.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
third one is finally completely animated.
Yes.
From what I've seen, and that's how they all should have been. This whole
Yeah.
mixing it with live I never understood why they chose to do
No.
that. But the third one, I think, might actually be semi-okay because there's no, like, humans are involved crap.
No, it's still not going to be
Well,
semi-okay.
compared to the other ones. I'm talking comparatively here. I'm trying to be hopeful.
Okay.
Let's not compare. They're just going to be terrible.
All right. Well, that's the verdict.
Like,
Katie says it's bad. It's bad. Moving on. Have you seen the Hotel Transylvania movies?
I have
No.
not.
They are actually pretty good.
I've heard that.
For an Adam Sandler movie, especially.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually pretty entertaining. I was babysitting when I watched the first one, and then the second one came on Netflix, and I watched that, and I laughed at that. I am that weird guy who loves kids' movies. Katie and I are both.
Kids' movies are
I
great.
love
Yeah.
kids' movies.
Yeah, we're both
Especially if
that weird
it's
guy.
Disney Pixar.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a couple actually that are not Disney Pixar that we really enjoyed. When we got married, we came back and we watched Storks, and it was fantastic. And that was that Sony? I don't know who made that.
I don't remember.
I can't
But I
remember.
just remember I enjoyed it.
Well, anyway, Hotel Transylvania 3 is going to be released on July 13th, 2018. So if you care about those movies, that one's coming out. Have you seen Ghostbusters? Have you seen Goats? One hit my microphone the other week.
And one named Batman.
One day Batman ran into my butt. But Goosebumps 2, there was the one that came out. There was Jack Black. It was actually fairly okay as well. Surprised
Really?
me with that one. Yeah, it's on Netflix right now. So if you want to watch it, you can. It's really not bad. It's not great, but it's the best version of Goosebumps I think we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Got it.
And Jack Black was kind of Jack Blacky in it, but he wasn't completely Jack Black, so it was okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. But Goosebumps 2 is going to be released on September 21st, 2018.
Who
So-
cares? Sorry.
Sony Pictures does because they're putting out both of those movies to try and make up for a $1 billion loss last year. Yep.
Yikes.
Good luck with that.
It's a lot
Okay.
of dollars.
It is a lot of dollars. So one of the things that a lot of people complain about with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that the villains are not as developed as the heroes. So there's a lot of focus on the heroes, but we never focus on what makes the bad guys bad and why they're doing what they're doing and all that. So they're very underdeveloped, which may be part of the reason why you forget them all the time, Micah.
Yeah.
Because they're
Could be.
just like, it's a bad guy and he's kind of blue.
I think Loki's kind of the exception to that.
Yes, Loki's fantastic. I love Loki.
I love Loki.
Yeah.
Even Micah agreed. Whoa! This is, everyone just
See, like, I find...
soak this in. Shh, we're soaking.
He's pretty good, but he's kind of archetypical.
All right, fine. We won't soak. We'll just be dry as a desert. It's fine. I don't care.
I'm fine with being dry as a desert. I'm with Micah on this one.
Why are you so angry?
No, I'm just saying. Loki's okay, but
Well, see, like, I remember Thor, and even Thor 2, and the first Avengers
I don't
movie. I don't remember anything after that.
I don't remember Thor 2 because I didn't watch it.
I
Well,
just
I'm sorry.
That'll do that.
that would make sense. I like the Captain America movies the best.
Captain America.
The first one's good.
Yeah.
I love the first one. World War II. We've already been over this in the
Yeah.
previous podcast, but I love World War II stuff. So Kevin Feige says that Thanos, which is the main villain for Infinity Wars, is also basically the main character of Infinity War.
Interesting.
So we've got a total flip from what they've been doing previously. I think all the heroes are pretty much, developed at this point. But what he said in reference to this was, well, I mean, it varies, but it always starts with what serves the story the most and what serves the hero the most. We've been criticized, if a big criticism of ours is that we focus on the heroes more than the villains. I think that's probably true. I don't think it will always be true, and I think some of you spoke to Chris and Steve at the Civil War junket. What the heck? When the heck was that? Yesterday? Last week? Anyway, I'm just reading the quote. And they talked about, in inappropriately oblique terms, Thanos. Thanos in Infinity War is, in a movie that has a lot of characters. You could almost go so far as to say he is the main character, and that's a bit of a departure from what we've done before. But that was appropriate for a movie called Infinity War. So I'm excited about that. Because we've seen like little glimpses of Thanos throughout the other movies, and it's always in the end credit scene. I want to know I know in the comics that Thanos is trying to court death, and death is a person. Why not? And and so that's why he's going on these conquests and just killing everything, because he's like, it'll make her love me. But if my dating life has told me anything, it's that killing people does not get you a lot of dates. Just saying.
Did you kill people?
Will it make you love me more?
No.
Then no. So, but this is an interesting. I think it's a good direction for them to take, for us to be more interested in one of the villains. I've never killed anybody. I just want to. I just want to clarify that real quick. I'm not a murderer.
Hold on, guys. If you've ever seen a picture of him, you would know this.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna do a background check.
What's behind me? Is that the background check we're doing?
There's a light.
It's a lamp.
And a green screen.
Yeah, that's anything could be behind me. It's a green screen. Who knows? So the Super Bowl happened, and there were movie trailers. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
We did not. Katie and I didn't.
What
were we doing?
Being not American.
I would have, just for the halftime show and the commercials.
Yeah. It's all on YouTube now, though.
The commercials weren't what they usually are.
Really?
There was a really weird Skittles one.
Yeah.
Well, why? There was a policeman and a robber and a grandma.
Gopher?
There was okay.
Thought it was a beaver.
It was a beaver? Okay.
I understand there's all these people, Skittles are being thrown through the window, and they're kind of going one by one and catching the Skittles. But where did the beaver come from?
Nobody knows.
That was just Skittles being skittly.
Being Skittles.
You know how Skittles commercials are. Same with Starbursts.
I mean, this is just, I don't know. I like the ones where they touch things and they turn into Skittles. Those are some of my favorite commercials because it's just fun and whimsical. But then
it was really
I can't
weird.
get on board with the beaver, guys. I'm sorry.
Borderline uncomfortable.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the newest trailer for The Last Night, the new Transformers movie?
If I did, I blocked it out.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it. Oh yeah, there was a dragon and it seemed all cool, and then it was Transformers instead.
Yeah. That was one where we both kind of like looked at the TV and went, ooh, and we went, oh.
Yeah.
I have no hope for that movie.
I was really surprised when I saw it because I heard nothing but negativity about that, the most recent one, and it's a sequel to that one. Why do
they keep
I
going?
don't understand why they did it.
Well, because even though the last one was critically panned, it made over $1 billion, I'm pretty sure. So they're not going to stop. And Michael Bay keeps saying, for the third one, he goes, this is my last one. And then the fourth one happened, he goes, this is my last one. And the fifth one happened, and everyone stopped listening, but he said it again.
I just think it's a bad strategy with this one because, sure, the last one made a bunch of money, but that's because it was the first one in a while. And it was a new cast and everything, so maybe it could have been good, but it was terrible, and it's the same cast and everything now, and they're doing it again, so people know that it's not going to be good, so they're not going to go in like they would before. Well,
according to the studio heads, they're making a lot of changes. This is kind of meant to be a reboot, but we're getting a new Transformers movie every year from now on, so as long as it makes money anyway. So don't expect Transformers to go anywhere. They're using this as a jumping off point to a larger universe. And
great.
Yeah. Don't you just love cinematic universes when everyone does one?
Yeah.
Everyone and their mom and their mom's dog and their mom's goat.
I think Transformers needs to get more geared towards a younger audience, and it needs to do more vibrant colors and fun action and silly play and just whimsical stuff.
Yes.
I think that'd be so much more fun with Transformers.
More silly play. I agree.
And it would open up better for, selling toys, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
If they design things to be less gritty and everything, but made a more simple, clean, action figure.
Yeah, but we live in a world where Batman Begins happened, so everything's gritty now.
I think we're moving out of it.
You think so?
I think we're starting to.
I hope so. What about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer?
It's gonna suck.
Jeez, you were just on a rampage tonight.
But also, I don't care. I'm going to see it anyway, and I'm going to laugh.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it just to talk crap about it, but
So do you not like the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, they're boring to me, honestly.
I could understand that.
And I never remember them like I do.
It's fair, but
I mean, I didn't like the first one.
I like Chris. I like
you
him.
didn't like what?
I didn't like the first Guardians of the Galaxy that much. I was not a giant fan when I watched it, but I think it's probably just because I really like Captain America, and that just all American wholesome aspect, and then
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, here's fart jokes.
Yeah,
But-
see, I think I watched it twice, and the first time I didn't like it. And I think that's because I went into it with the mindset of, oh, it's a Marvel movie.
It's very different. Yeah.
You just kind of have to throw that out the window and just roll with it as a comedy.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I mean, I've changed my tune on it now.
Yeah.
I flipped. I'm a flipper.
I only watched it because of Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Because I was attracted to him.
Don't act like that's changed.
He's only getting better.
I keep,
Yeah, he
I,
is only getting better.
I keep finding pictures of him on the mirror in the bathroom, and I come in, I take him down every morning, but they keep showing back up.
Waking up with a bag on your face. It's his face on the outside.
That's terrible.
I know, because you keep doing it. I don't know. I think Dave Bautista, is that how that's pronounced?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like his performance is really, really weak in these movies, because he's like, I'm an awkward alien, and that's because I said so. And that's how every line comes out to me. Maybe it's just me, but
I got you.
she has revealed your deepest secret. Do me.
Yeah.
That was awful. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
It made me laugh.
I'll just close my eyes when I go watch it.
It was bad, for sure, but it made me laugh.
All right. So before we get into our main topic, I have an apology I have to make.
Uh-oh.
Because for a year now, I have been making Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice jokes without having seen the movie, and I would like to formally issue an apology to Zack Snyder for every single one of those jokes. Because I watched the Ultimate version, not the original cut, but the Ultimate edition, and I quite enjoyed it.
There you go.
And so I'm sorry. It is a beautiful movie. I won't say it's the strongest story-wise. I really just want to take Lex Luthor's face and shove it in a toilet until it stops moving, because it was the worst part of any movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I hated that so much.
Really?
Yes. Why is he putting candy in grown men's mouths? That is so weird.
He's freaky and weird, and I
Lex
loved
Luthor's
his
supposed to be
performance.
imposing, not weird.
It was a different take on the character, and I really enjoyed it.
I think he was poop. You hear that, Jesse Eisenberg?
I liked it a lot.
He's going to show up on my balcony now, isn't he? He'll be sitting out there with the Jolly Rancher going, come here. Because he makes that noise 100,000 times. It's like a... I don't know what to compare him to, but it was... The rest of the stuff was really good, though. But Batman straight up killed some fools, and
That was awesome.
I have my reservations about that. Be still in my heart. But still, beautifully shot movie.
Yeah.
There is no one with an eye like Zack Snyder out there. Just if anyone else can make slow motion grass look that amazing, I would love to meet them and buy them lunch. Because they deserve it.
You can shake their hand. You don't have that much.
No, they need lunch. I'm not talking like something. They're not getting lobster. They're going to get like a Happy Meal or something. But still.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my formal apology, and I'm very sorry for all the jokes I made. Yes. So on to the main topic. This week we went and saw The Space Between Us, and we have not talked. As is the custom, we don't talk about the movies before we sit down to record. So I would like to ask everyone what their opinion is. We're going to start with my wife. What did you think of the movie?
I hated it.
Wow.
Your lips are pursed more than a Prada bag. Good Lord. She hated this movie. Abby?
I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it?
I didn't think it was good.
Okay.
I think I was expecting a lot worse. It could have been so much worse. It really could have.
I agree.
But yeah, I didn't hate it. Like, there were some cringeworthy moments. There were several cringeworthy moments.
We'll get into those.
But it was
And we'll all cringe as a group.
it was not the nightmare I thought it was going to be.
Cool. Micah?
Yeah, I'd give it like a solid 4.5. It wasn't as bad as I thought, and like it had most of what you need there for a solid story. It just lacked, I don't know, it was very choppy, but I came out of there wishing it was either a little bit better or a little bit worse.
So is it because it's hard to dog on, but not easy to enjoy? Is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah, it's like
Will you forget this as quickly as you forget a Marvel movie?
I don't think so, because there was at least some plot there.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys know me. I have a reputation amongst all of my friends with being very, very harsh on every movie, and just ripping everything to shreds, even if I liked it. But I'm going to take a different. I believe my heart has been softened in recent months, and I liked this movie. I won't buy it. I didn't like it that much, but I enjoyed it. I cried, and like a man.
All right.
And I liked this movie. Fight me.
Cool.
I will.
It was.
Oh boy.
I'm okay with that.
You can have that. It was like just right on the fence. So it was okay.
Should we talk about the cast first? Let's just run down the cast.
Okay.
Starting with our main character, who is played by a young man named Asa Butterfield.
That's his name?
That's his name.
All right.
Asa Butterfield. And
That's cute.
Here's the thing. Last names are normally derived from a job that someone has. Like, my last name, my real one anyway, is Clark. And that's derived from someone way up the line had a clerk job. And thus our family name was born. How do you get the name Butterfield?
I love it, though.
Like, who's out there tending a field of butter?
Oh, it's just cows. It's just potential butter.
It's potential. That should be my Twitter handle, potential butter.
I guess everything is.
That's fantastic. We've also got Gary Oldman as Nathan Shepard, and we'll save the twist for the end of this. I don't want to spoil it yet. Heads up, though, there are going to be spoilers for this movie in this podcast. If you don't know that, maybe just stop listening now. Go watch the movie, then come back. But Gary Oldman, what?
Britt Robertson.
Yes, Britt Robertson, who a lot of people don't know who she is by name, but she was in Tomorrowland and
The First Time.
Yeah, also The Longest Ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then this movie, The Space Between Us. We've also got Gary Oldman. I already mentioned him. Carla Gugino.
Gugino.
Carla Guatemala
Yeah,
as Kendra.
If you don't know who she is, watch Spy Kids.
Yes, she's the Spy Kids mom.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, you didn't know that? Oh, that would have made the movie a whole lot better for you if you.
Yeah,
done that.
It would.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I enjoyed this, because I was just thinking of Spy Kids the whole time.
Yeah.
But she's in there. I think she does a pretty solid job.
Yeah.
We've got B.D. Wong as Genesis director Tom Chen. He's from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. He was in both of those movies.
Oh.
So he plays the same role too, and he hasn't aged a day. I'm pretty sure they did something to him on that island when they were filming. So, and then we've got a bunch of non-important people. But yes, Asa Butterfield. Just throwing it out there. So. In 1999, this has a long history that you might not know about. In 1999, Universal Pictures and Mike Lobel Productions, very creative name for that, and I'll just name it after myself. I'm Mike Lobel. They acquired a screenplay that was then titled Mainland, about a rebellious teen born on the moon who desired to come to Earth, but whose physiology, it was feared, would not be able to take the translation into standard American English.
He spoke moon.
He spoke moon. How do you speak moon?
That's how.
That was beautiful. Yeah. It's actually bringing a tear to my eye. It's so poetic. We should probably go over the main plot of the film. In this movie, a boy from Mars, not from the moon, so his language is more guttural. I went for it, it didn't land.
Nope.
It did on Mars. So anyway, they send some astronauts to go live on Mars. It's the first mission like this, and while they're on the way there, the lead of the whole mission, a young woman named Sarah, I believe. Sarah
Elliott.
Sarah Elliott. There we go. We got a full name. Look her up on Google. Or don't, because she's not real. But Sarah Elliott finds on the way there that, oops, she's pregnant. And so she gives birth to him on Mars, the first and only time this has happened in this universe. and then she dies. So that's...
Promptly.
Yeah. It's like, here's your baby. Oh, great.
It was odd.
It was.
She seized.
There was no explanation for her death. And
they're just like, yep, she died.
There were like 5 different possible things that could have happened, but they just never explained it.
It's kind of typical for those movies. Oh, my mom died. But
yeah.
But they didn't... I feel like they lacked creativity with that.
Well, it's like, mom died in childbirth. Okay. But this time they actually showed the mother dying after giving birth, and they just offered no explanation, and that really bothered me.
Just Gary Oldman watching it on the TV and then walking real sad afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done that more artistically.
Yeah.
Like, just like, I don't know.
You wanted more colors?
That's the one, yeah.
I wanted more colors in my death scene.
Just like her hand going limp or something like that, It's just like...
Yeah.
Showing the whole convulsions and everything and not having an explanation, it's just kind of weird.
It made the pacing weird for me. The
whole beginning.
The whole beginning, yeah. I was bored. And okay, so I worked a 12-hour day, so I was tired. But...
Do you hate the movie or do you hate your job?
No, it was just, like, I'm talking about... I hate my job, but... Not this job. I love this job.
This job is good.
But,
you're not getting paid.
Shh. I don't know that.
As long as she doesn't hear it out loud, it's okay.
Well, I was struggling to stay awake, but I felt like that made it worse.
Probably.
Yeah.
We should take you when you're
awake.
It
wasn't a nice beginning to a movie.
No.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, here's a trip to Mars and some seizures.
And go.
I don't know. They could have done it more artistically, yes, but I also feel like the harrowing nature of it was part of why it was so tragic, because she's just like, everything's cool, and then there's all this, all over cramps that killed her.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I wish they wiped off the baby a little bit more before they handed it over to her.
I wish the opposite. I wish the baby was dirtier than that, because they didn't have enough time to wipe off the placenta. Ew.
They should have just taken the time. Like, jeez.
Well, yeah, but if they had, think about it this way. If they'd taken 5 extra seconds to wipe his head off a little bit more and get that Jell-O off of his head.
Which is what that looked like.
It did look like Jell-O.
I was thinking of strawberry jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody could lick that baby. Find out what that is. But if they'd taken the 5 extra seconds to do that, she would have seized before she could have held her baby. So you're saying that we should prioritize cleanliness over motherhood?
Well, they could have made that decision as people who are creating the scene, not the people in it.
But would that make the pacing better?
No, it's like you don't even have to.
You don't even see it when they're cleaning off the baby in the first place, so why not clean him off completely?
I think part of the reason that they did that is because before in movies it was always like the baby was super like you could eat off the baby. That's weird. It was very clean. It was always a very clean baby. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so there's like this expectation now to where it's like you got to make it look real, guys. You can't just like have her give birth to an 8-month-old baby.
Yeah. Batman has happened. We need it to be grittier. Make the baby bloody.
But they could have like just had the torso kind of a little bit more so, and then not had it all over the face, because she kissed the face, and then there's the Jell-O on the face.
She kissed her own placenta.
Now I do like that they used a newborn or like
a new baby. Yeah.
Yes, that made me happy.
Yes, I like that they used a newborn. That was good. It didn't look like she gave birth to a bag of bowling balls.
Wow.
But anyway, so the rest of this movie, let's get back on course here. The rest of this movie is that he grows up, and for 16 years he's a secret on Mars, but he does find a way to talk to someone on Earth, which we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later. Hold on, your head's not exploding just yet. We'll get there. But he has this talk with this girl online through, I guess, AOL Instant Messenger or whatever, and
yeah, it's 2034. Everybody uses AOL.
We just kind of revert back to previous messengers, because Facebook Messenger I don't want it installed on my phone. But
preach,
preach, and the hellfire. No, I'm just kidding. But But then he goes back to Earth because Kendra, who is played by Spy Kid's mom, which is how I will refer to her from now on. Spy Kid's mom is like, he can't stay here forever. He's a young boy. He needs to live life and not be a secret. He feels like he's unloved. Blah blah blah. And then Gary Oldman like, we've been over this 100 times. And then he comes to Earth anyway. And then he runs away with the girl, and they find love.
If that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, so there you go. That was the...
Yes, I want to call it love.
So
well, it's kind of a funny relationship because like they already know each other really well.
Mm-hmm.
They've just never met in person.
okay, so this is one of my
Biggest
most major
plot
flaws of the movie. How did they meet? You just 16 years later, they're already talking. It's like, why would we not get the thing where they meet? That's the most important part.
The reasoning behind that was that we spent too much time on the unclean baby, and so they cut that scene from the movie. But the idea is he's raised by scientists, so he knows how to hack into the computers and like how to do all this stuff because it's what he's always been around. And so he made contact with someone, hit it off, and as you do, you just keep AOL instant messaging that person.
I just think they should have had the moment when they first met, and he's been hacking, he's been working on it forever, and it's like, oh, I made contact with someone. It's just like, hi, and then you just get this look of excitement. It would have been great, and it would have filled that in so much better.
And she's just like, what's going on? Who are you? And why did you just pop up on my computer screen? And he's just like, I live in New York.
Yeah.
So can't leave. Bye.
Quote unquote New York. It's Mars. It's not New York. It's Mars.
I live up north.
I'm up very north. It's very cold here, but very red. I live. It's a red cold place. New York. So anyway, that's basically the premise of the movie. And as the longer he stays on Earth, the more in danger he is because he lived in low gravity. So his bones and his heart are not all developed properly for our gravity and our atmosphere. So he's slowly dying the longer he stays here. And so they find love, and then he goes to Mars.
Yep.
So spoilers, but this is a longer running project than you might think. Like I said, in 1999. Universal Pictures acquired the script called Mainland at that point about a rebellious teen born on the moon who speaks...
Moon.
No, I was saying moon in moon.
Who speaks moon?
He speaks by pulling down his pants and showing people his butt, and that's the only way he can communicate.
I am so glad I did not have water in my mouth. Because I was about to take a drink.
What would you like for dinner, sir? Zip. Zip.
Are you sure?
What would you like a side of zip? But anyway, so on March 13th, 2014, wow, I lost my place. The tracking board revealed that a science fiction adventure film titled Out of This World was in development at Relatively Media and scripted by Alan Loeb, who I believe is, no, he's not related to Mike Lobel. There's a lot of earlobes here. I'm trying to deal with them all. So, later in August of 2014, it was reported that Peter Chelsom, not Chisholm, Chelsom, it's Chelsom, Chelsom. Is that right?
Sure.
Cool. Sure.
Sounds good.
Works for us. Who previously directed Hector and the Search for Happiness for Relativity, was hired to direct the film, while Relativity would produce and distribute the film. Southpaw Entertainment's Richard B. Lewis was attached to produce the film. That's a lot of films in this Wikipedia article that I've pulled some of this from.
Film. Film.
How do you say that in Moon? Zip. Zip. On February 2nd, 2015, Asa Butterfield, great name, I love that so much, was tapped to play the lead character in the film. He would play a teen who was raised on Mars and falls in love with a Colorado native girl named Tulsa on Earth that he has been communicating with. So yeah, basically this started with a script in 1999, and then we got our what most people agree is a mediocre film a full 18 years later. So congratulations, everybody. We did it.
Really paid off.
Hooray. So, filming actually began on September 14th, 2015. So this is kind of a long a long post-production. It was originally going to be released on July 29th of 2016, but it was switched with Bad Moms and was scheduled to be released on August 19th. And then...
Your face.
I just remember seeing ads for that movie and thinking, oh boy.
For Bad Moms?
Uh-huh.
It's getting a sequel.
What?
Not just one. I think they're planning 3 more.
Oh, well, of course they are.
Yep.
That's all we can do these days.
And it's going to tie in with Spider-Man Homecoming, like everything else.
Yep.
In June 2016, other movies were crowded with Kubo and the Two Strings, Ben-Hur, and War Dogs, and the film was pushed again to December 21st, 2016, to allow more time for work on the visual effects. Then the film's release was later moved up to December 16th before being pushed back to February 3rd of 2017.
Wow.
So basically they sat down in the meeting and went, okay, we have a lot of production dates going on right now, a lot of release dates we could fill. We'll just roll a dice every month and see what happens. And meanwhile, Butterfield's sitting in his room going, come on! So, I do have, as much as I love this movie, I do have issues with it. For instance, there's no way that astronaut got into space without having someone go, hey, you're preggers.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, they have to have so many physical examinations and stuff before you can do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right, someone would have been like, hey, I just want to let you know, there's a lot of hormone levels that are kind of out of whack right now. Can you pee on this for me?
Yeah.
Someone would have
Seriously.
noticed.
Or can we just check on your organs to make sure everything's okay? Oh, hey, there's a baby there.
Hey, those aren't just your organs. There's someone else's in there. And look, he's playing an organ. It's beautiful music. On top of that, we have Gardner, who's acting almost normal on Mars. He's basically a normal teenage boy there. And then when he arrives on Earth, it's like someone just whacked him in the head and went, you're an idiot now.
Yeah. Okay, well, like, he has a door that he can tell from the other side of the room to open and close, and then he gets to Earth and he's playing with the bus door.
Yeah, what was that?
Exactly. Like, rain, I get the rain. That's exciting.
Yeah, that was
Get Out. That made me happy.
I cried.
Aw.
It was beautiful. I love rain.
Also, he never heard of sunglasses. I mean, really, come on.
No, on Mars you don't need sunglasses.
There's no sun on the Mars. It doesn't have any.
We get our light from reflections from people speaking moon.
We have many moons.
many moons. Zip. Hey, the sun's up. So also there's so this doesn't have the best dialogue out of any movie ever made, but I think the worst line in this is when the robot wheels into the room. He goes, "I'm your friend," and he goes, "No, you're not my friend. You're a robot with rudimentary AI who I helped build." And then he turns and winks at the camera and goes, "Exposition." It's just like, why do you have to say it that way?
Yeah.
Because if he hadn't paused in between "you're a robot that I built," like if he had just been, "No, you're a robot that I built. You're not my best friend. You're just a robot." But that would have been fine with me. But he goes, "But you have rudimentary AI, and I helped build you."
Yeah, it was a weird ordering of importance.
Why did the director not kind of just raise his hand and go, "Mr. Butterfield, don't pause there. There's no reason to." I just imagine that's how everyone addressed him on set. Mr. Butterfield? Because I would never pass up on an opportunity to say that name 100 times a day.
I just feel like a lot of the dialogue in the film was lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or forced.
yeah.
One or the other.
I think it was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was
I
gorgeous.
love the colors. I like the vibrancy of it. But dialogue was lazy. It was boring, and it was not memorable.
Well, how'd you get that pitchfork in your hand? Where'd the torch come from? Oh my goodness.
So I think Asa Butterfield was a great choice for this, especially he's just such a skinny, lanky guy that
All
he
the
just
people,
kind of fits.
he was so skinny.
He just fits that
Yeah.
picture of like he's not quite up to where he ought to be physically to go to Earth. It's fine. It just because he's a fairly normal human being, but like his legs are so skinny and he's just such a small person. But I mean, he's tall, but
I
he's
feel
a
like
small
they
person.
probably told him to put on weight for this role, though. Like they got him in there and went, "Okay, turn sideways. Where'd he go?"
Yeah.
But okay, he's 19.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a note I have as well. Do you guys
Britt
know
Robertson?
how old she is?
26.
She's 26.
But she looks older than 26 is the problem.
Okay. I personally liked her the best.
Oh, I like her.
I love
She's
Britt
awesome.
Robertson.
She
I
is.
said her name wrong. Continue.
She was one of the best choices for me because of. I guess. I don't know. I just like her acting. Maybe I'm biased, but
She's a good actress, but she's playing a 17-year-old.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, are there not great 17-year-old actresses out there? Because there are.
Now, we've lost Miley Cyrus as a teenage actor, so that's all that's left. we
It's
just have
just-
Britt.
I have nothing against her performance. She was great.
Yeah.
It's just, he's such a little guy, and it's just like...
When she was in the school and wearing the more teenagery clothes, it almost worked for me.
Yeah.
But then they go to the shopping mall and she puts on the blue dress and I was like, Mom?
It was really... in most angles, straight on angles at her face, it was fine. But when you got a profile or a slight
Yeah.
profile,
She
you could
has
really
a more
tell.
developed facial structure.
structure.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, she can't play a teenager anymore for me.
I think. Okay. Maybe the reason why I like her so much, she reminds me of Devin.
She does.
The reason
So-
I liked her so much is because she reminds me of you. You're both very feisty.
Yeah, and that's probably why I liked her too. Liked her character.
She's a good character.
and
Anyone who could be described as
but
hot
Devin,
sauce,
if you're
Katie
listening,
likes.
Look, what?
Anyone who could be if you had to. Okay, I stretched really far here, but I'm going to explain it. It's going to make sense. You can describe people as condiments. Okay, so I'm honey with a mix of vinegar somewhere in there because of an accident in the plant.
I think you're ketchup.
Why am I ketchup?
Because you're just a standard little white boy.
Oh,
Aw, Micah.
at least I'm not a below average little white boy.
At least he's not mayonnaise.
Oh.
You'd be one of those mayonnaise kids. You know the ones.
Is mayonnaise?
But I do.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
an
Mayonnaise.
instrument.
But
Watch me whip. Watch me mayonnaise.
But honey,
All right.
that old guy.
Relevant.
But to me, honey, you are hot sauce because you get it. And you think this is gonna be great, and then it hurts you for a little bit because it's too much for you to handle. But then you're like, I want to get some more. I want to get some more hot sauce. You're very feisty, is what I'm saying. This all fell apart very quickly. I'll get the couch ready. I'm just gonna sleep there tonight.
It's already ready for you.
Cool. Wait, what? Were you anticipating this?
No, I'm kidding.
So, but Britt always plays kind of a tomboyish character, but she plays them very well, so I'm okay with it. I really did enjoy her performance in this, and for the most part, I enjoyed Mr. Butterfield's performance.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about how, we don't know how they got together and started talking on AOL Instant Messenger. Ba-ding. That was the notification noise I had set. Ba-ding. Anyway, so we have no idea how they got together and started talking, but I have a problem with this because even if we are able to send people to Mars, there is no way that there is a data transfer quick enough for anyone to do instant messaging from Mars to Earth. Also, I would like to point out that there was a video feed, but they were typing to each other. That made no sense. And there is no way that there was a good video feed because I have one of the higher packages with Time Warner Cable, and I can't even get a good FaceTime conversation going. So I don't want to hear this, it's the future crap, because we put a robot on Mars, and I can't get FaceTime. So I'm just going to shut up now.
Well, part of the reason that they weren't speaking to each other while they were messaging was because she was in class.
And they do show them actually having a voice chat at the end of the movie, don't they?
It's more of just her saying, agreeing, but she typed it too.
Did she?
Yep.
No. Probably have
So
Comcast, and that's why they can't
It was
talk.
stupid, and it made no sense. It didn't make any sense.
Now you have two torches. Oh my goodness. Where did this crowd of angry villagers come from? They're everywhere. So, we talked about loving the colors and it's a beautifully shot movie. There is, when he was coming to Earth and they're flying above the world and we see all the storms and the lightning, and I love that so much. I believe man will always have a love affair with the stars. There's something about and seeing our own planet from a distance like that, like it's a whole different view. And I'll probably never go to space.
I feel like there was too much lightning though.
Yeah, there were a lot of storms.
Probably
Like even in the clouds where like yeah it's a storm, like the lightning was constant. It was crazy.
Yeah, but it was pretty.
It was pretty.
And it sparkles.
Man, slow down, lightning.
Calm down, lightning.
We get it.
You're lightning.
We get it. You're lightning. That's too long to be a Twitter handle, but I want it. I'm gonna have like 40 Twitter accounts by the end of this podcast, and just I want that one and that one and that one. I did think when they landed and he gets off and he's kind of looking around and he's like, water. There's so much water, and then he says, "I feel so heavy but so light." And then the guy just goes, "I believe the term is euphoria." I was like, that could be cheesy, but it was for me. I believe it was done just right, and I loved that moment. And I will fight you.
Yeah.
It was cheesy when it got repeated.
It was only cheesy because of the way it was repeated.
No, it was just cheesy because it was repeated at all.
It was good cheese, though. It was like...
You hate cheese.
Yes, but I put it on my tacos, and this movie was my taco, and that was the cheese, and everything is okay.
You are way more okay with this movie than I expected you to be.
Well, I'm full of surprises.
Yes, you
I was
are.
hoping you would hate it.
Well, I'm full of surprises.
Okay, but can we talk about some of the cringeworthy moments?
Please.
Not yet, because
Not
we
yet.
have to talk about how he escaped from the NASA facility.
He jumped up to where there's a magnetic strip on a door where you automatically release it, which is on every door everywhere.
Well, think
Easily.
about it, though. People with skeleton keys can get into every door everywhere. This is just the electronic version.
No.
They
That
made
was
it
ridiculous.
They made it way too easy for him to escape. I feel like there should have been... No, I feel like there should... Stop. I feel like it should have been a little bit harder for him to escape.
Yeah.
It's like he
Like,
knew his
I
way
would-
out.
I would have been more excited. I would have been more engaged. But because...
Yeah. They were looking for him, and instead of putting, like, they were, like, going through all this struggle to put the base on lockdown, and then he just gets out on a delivery truck? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, the
you
guy
can
who-
just
That's
close
not
the gate.
lockdown.
Yeah, the guy who checked the back of that truck, he was just like, open the door, and he turned the flashlight on.
Those
He
are
immediately
crates.
turned it off because he didn't want to. He was like, what if there's a boogeyman? And then he shut the door. It was like, go on your way, everything's fine.
There could be a Martian in there.
There's no field of butter in there. So, yeah, I did think it was too easy for him to get off the base. But as for it being too easy, I would like to point out that he has very, very tiny legs. And I just want to be nice about that. Poor man's legs are very small.
No excuse.
Therefore, it should have been harder for him to leave.
I have my own leg problems, and I want to believe.
No.
I did love the pants that he stole. Like they were just like just a little bit too short. It was,
Too wide around the waist and
Yeah.
just too short.
Every time I go shopping, every time I just connect emotionally with Asa Butterfield's pants problems.
He just looked like a standard hipster to me. Like, it didn't
Yeah,
even
he
seem
did.
like
Like
a fashion problem. It was just like someone from Austin or Portland.
New York.
So you're saying there's someone somewhere in a theater right now sipping a vanilla latte going, looking good, man.
Oh, dude, there's tons of them.
Oh, yeah.
Not just one. Are they all drinking vanilla lattes?
They're probably drinking like some black crazy blend of like super Sumatran cocoa coffee blend, masterfully brewed in a shimala blender distillery system.
I don't know what that is, but I want one.
But you hate coffee.
I know, but I want to throw it at
but-
somebody.
How about you throw it in my mouth? Because that sounds good.
All right, open 'em. Here we go.
Ah.
Oh no, I burned her face off.
Wow.
What did you guys think of when Gardner actually met Tulsa for the first time?
She was mean.
To be fair, he disappeared on her for 7 months.
That's true. I guess I would be mad too.
I liked the slap.
Yeah, you would.
It looked like it hurt. It
Yeah.
was the slap. You ghosted
Oh,
on
yeah,
me.
like that time you got lost. on your way to dinner. I was really not sure whether to slap you or just be glad that you were alive.
Oh, that was when we were there, and I remember looking out the window, and like as you walked out, it was like your arms were open in a sign of welcome and happiness, but your feet said, "I'm going to kill you."
And then you're like, where were you? Why did you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, now is not the time. Just go inside and eat some steak, all right?
My phone died. I don't want to talk about it.
And you're just like, okay.
It resolved itself very quickly. The feet quickly matched up with the arms.
I was just happy he was alive. It was 2.5 hours, no contact.
I was just hungry because he had the steaks.
Yeah.
Just imagine being Gardner. No contact for 7 months.
Jeez.
At least he knew he wasn't lost.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he knew. It was probably just the navigational computer.
Well,
yeah.
he figured he wasn't lost.
He figured. So poor Mr. Butterfield. I feel bad for him because he has what I like to call Tobey Maguire syndrome. He has a baby face, and he will always have a baby face.
Yeah,
but at
like
a certain
you.
point, it'll start being creepy, like mine has. Thanks, honey. And he's going to find himself out of work at that point. He'll have to become a producer. Poor guy.
Hopefully he doesn't go bald
Or just
anything.
play one of the psychopaths in movies.
Yeah, you can always be a serial killer if you got a baby face.
Freddie Highmore's pulled that off with Bates Hotel, which I need to watch. I've heard it's very good. Now, before I went and watched this, Gary Oldman is one of the main characters in there. I found the 1998 Lost in Space on Netflix, which Gary Oldman is also in, and he plays the villain. And so it was very weird because I started watching the movie before I went in to go watch The Space Between Us, and then I go in and it's just Gary Oldman being nice, and I'm like, wait, but you're an evil turd. And then I watched all the way through this movie, then I went and finished off Lost in Space. It was a very harrowing day for me. I couldn't decide how I felt. Also, the special effects in that movie do not hold up. Don't watch it. Your eyes will bleed. Mine did. Just absolutely terrible. But I like good Gary Oldman better than I like evil Gary Oldman.
He's a great actor, and he can do anything.
He is.
And he always looks different.
I like him as a father figure more.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Book of Eli?
Not all the way through.
He plays a great villain in that movie.
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying.
I need to watch it. I think it's in my house.
It's such a good movie.
Somewhere.
You have to watch it.
We will do that.
Anyway.
All right, so moving on. So they meet up, and then he shows Tulsa the picture of his mother and goes, "You're going to help me find her." And she's like, "Sure." And they get on a motorcycle and they drive away, and she grabs her money, and then they're at the house, and then they steal a plane.
I have a small correction.
You have a small correction? Is it a big one?
It is. They're not looking for his mother. She's dead.
I'm sorry, you're correct. My bad.
Crap.
My bad. They're looking for his father, but he has a picture of his mother to go off of.
He has a picture of his mother with his uncle.
Katie!
Wow, just spoil it.
Whoa!
Jeez. You know
Okay,
what?
well, while
I'm
we're
going
on-
to take one of your torches. Give me that. You get this back when you start playing nice.
I don't want to play nice.
Give me the other torch.
Oh, she just got another torch.
It's like she could just light another one automatically.
On that note, what a mean uncle.
Yeah, that dude. What he say to her is like, because he runs a crop dusting business, is what we gather. And then she comes home from school one day, and he's drunk, and he's like, "You do it."
Oh, I was talking about the legit uncle. I wasn't talking about the foster father.
Oh no, we'll get there. I don't want to talk about that yet. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm steering this spaceship from Mars.
I'm interfering. Sorry.
Yes, get off the control console. The beep boop beep. You're locked out. Your fingerprints will no longer be registered.
She'll just jump out and pull the little lever that opens all doors.
And then we die. Beep boop beep. You can come back in now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. So they steal a plane, and I have never in my life I have never rooted in a movie theater for someone to catch a plane so much. His little legs were pumping so hard to catch up to that airplane.
It's pretty intense.
She almost ran him over.
She almost did, but she didn't, so it's okay.
She almost ran him over twice, because she almost ran him over when she was coming to get him, and he had to duck, or else be Indiana Jonesed, or when he was running up to get on it, he had the tail behind him, so if he slowed down too much, it would just cut off his legs just from the tail, and then he'd just fall. So he had just... It was bad.
Yeah,
bad
but
situation.
he made it.
He did made it.
Because I
He
assume
risked his life without
probably
asking
because
if he
I was
okay
yelling
with
at the screen for him to make it. That's the only
probably
reason he
why,
did.
yeah.
I was sitting there, go, Mr. Butterfield!
And then they blew up somebody's barn.
Yeah.
And they just gloss over that and just
Like, okay, bye.
we're leaving. What if someone was in that barn?
Okay, so... Alright, this is another major qualm I have with this movie. At the end of the movie, spoilers, he goes back to Mars and she stays on Earth. And everybody's honky-dory just doing their Earth things and Mars things. However, she stole 4 cars and a plane and blew up a barn. She should be in prison.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
She should really be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's not, and that's okay. Okay, I can't forgive that one. You're right. She should be in jail. But
But that would be lame.
I want to believe. Another thing about that scene where they crash into the barn is that Nathaniel and Kendra are up in the sky. They're in a helicopter chasing this plane, and then somehow tracking it. I don't know how. It's an old biplane. I love biplanes.
They're cool.
Biplanes are amazing. There is no greater symbol of freedom in machine form than a biplane that you can hang out the side of and go, whoa! Or hang off the side of. That shot of him hanging off the side of that plane as they took off,
Terrifying.
I was so happy. I want to believe.
Just like, take a seat, please.
That was a great line. But they crash this plane, and then somehow the people on the ground who are not tracking him at that point, I don't assume, or can't because they don't have this magical tablet that they have in the helicopter, somehow get to the wreck before the people with a helicopter.
Yeah.
What is that? What did you guys think it was actually Brit singing in the store scene where they went and
Was
got
it
clothes?
not?
I don't know. Do you think it was?
Surely.
I think it was.
Probably.
I
I mean,
imagine
it
she
wasn't
composing.
like that good, so like if you're gonna do it
Yeah.
with someone else's voice, you'd make it better.
There's no point. When you're seeing that short of a snippet of a song, there's no point in bringing in somebody else's voice.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm not saying it was bad. She did a fine job.
I
I'm
like
just saying like it wasn't anything extraordinary, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't be necessary.
It was
wasn't
extraordinary
memorable.
compared to what I sang in the shower in the morning before I watched this,
You know.
which was it's mostly just whale sounds. When Gardner and Tulsa went to the diner and they were using that lady's tablet, why did the guy behind them get involved in their Wi-Fi
I
struggles?
have no idea.
And also,
So-
why did he take a picture of all 3 of them? And also, how did he take a picture of all 3 of them? Because he would have had to open the app, but all he did was like turn around and tap the screen. It was like, here's a picture.
Future.
And oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I feel like that scene with that guy was just a moment, like maybe he was a contest winner and something, like, you get to be part of our movie, you get to be a featured extra, you get to say 2 lines.
Yeah, I could kind of get that feel. Like what it felt like to me, it felt like they were introducing him as like their third little sidekick character, and I was like, all right, so he's gonna join their party and join them in their endeavors, and then he didn't, and it was
Yeah.
just weird.
I felt like maybe the picture would come into play or something.
That's what I felt. Like,
But
that,
it didn't.
Like I thought,
Like, was
maybe
there a
they'll
deleted
go,
scene?
They were here or
Right.
something, but then they're just like, here's a picture of all 3 of them looking. I mean, the guy in the middle's like cheesing it up, but the other 2 are just like, we have to leave this diner now.
I
And,
seriously think it was just a pop in for an extra. Featured extra, here you go.
I wonder if we can find out. I'll do some research. If I find an answer, I'll tweet it. If I don't find an answer, I'll forget. I did like the scene in the desert where they played the first part of the scene in the desert where they played she played the song, and there was, you know, they were out and there was the beautiful stars and this
They danced.
New Mexico place and it's dance, all that.
And then the kiss that lasted a millennia.
It was very long.
It was like, okay, now kiss.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's good. All right.
That went way better than my first kiss did. Mine, I was assaulted in the bus lanes at school. So,
Oh.
yep, it wasn't really my choice.
Now you have to tell the story.
No, well, I have a different story that I want to tell right now because I once turned on the radio in my car to dance with a girl that I was on a date with, and 3 songs in, my battery died. So I'm on a date, my car dies. I had to call my dad to come jump the car. He gets there, he goes, "Do you have any jumper cables?" I was like, no. Turns out my date did have jumper cables in her car. So then my dad, in front of the girl I'm on a date with, goes, man, she's a better prepared man than you are. And then starts the car and leaves. So the whole time I was sitting there going, the truck is going to die, the truck is going to die, the truck. There was so much anxiety for me. But it didn't come to pass.
And then he got home and called me.
Yep. And now we're married. Thank goodness I never had to jump a car with us.
Oh, boy.
My dad would show up and just make jokes.
Yeah, that whole scene was very awkward.
It was, but at the same time, it was sweet because it was awkward. I think because it kind of.
I highly disagree.
Okay, here's the thing. Look, this guy has been on Mars for 16 years. Shows up on Earth 2 days later, is getting his
Has
first
sex?
kiss. Well, and that, yes,
And that
really
seconds
far ahead.
later.
Mere seconds.
I'm just saying.
Literally kissed him and took her clothes off.
It wasn't a cute sort of awkward sort of thing. It was this
just
really
creepy.
it was creepy sort of awkward.
If they hadn't gone that far, which I think they shouldn't have, because that's for marriage. But if they hadn't gone that far, do you think it would have been less gross? And it would have been a sweet moment then? If we hadn't had to see people's backs?
The kiss still was awkward and gross. The kiss itself, like, that was enough to make me go, oh gosh, no, just stop. And then they went further. I was like, oh no.
I feel like it should have just been shortened, like maybe just a moment and then cut.
What if we
Cut
just
it
hadn't seen them kiss? Think about it. The best
I like
moment
that.
is the moment before you kiss, right? That hovering right before, and it's like
but
the
that was what was
anticipation.
prolonged.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
it
kiss was prolonged more, I think. And also it was more like watching someone mash potatoes instead of kissing.
Yeah.
Bump heads.
boy.
Maybe that's just how Asa Butterfield kisses people.
It was like when you're
Oh,
trying to push two magnets together that are the same charge, so they're pushing each other away.
Because she's over there going, I could be your concerned sister. With the age gap
It
here.
was just like, it felt so much like she just forced this, like, yeah, go ahead, steal his innocence. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, you're like 30 over here, getting this little kid over here. The song choice, I think, could have been better. Because, like, when it first came out, I was like, alright, this is a baby making song. Like, straight up. And then it was just a kiss, so I was like, alright, that's fine, but why that song? And then
we found out.
we found out.
Yeah. I wish they hadn't gone that far. I think it could have been a sweet, awkward love moment, but then it's just an awkward love moment.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not a fan of that. They should have stopped right before the kiss and just cut to black and stars, and we see Mars in the sky in the distance, and we go,
But-
look, they're out of this world in love.
Aww.
They're just going with like all the movies with, you know,
Teen sex is cool now, everybody. Just do whatever you want.
like it seems like every movie there's a sex scene, so it's like just kind of going along with that.
Just
so.
because Deadpool did it doesn't mean everyone has to do it. That's all.
And
But-
it's just like, it
I
was
am-
so out of place with the
Right.
rest of the sweetness of the movie.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't show, like, you know how
Well, they
a lot
didn't
of
show anything, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I saw
Just-
shoulder
it was
scandal.
just a shoulder. But it was,
Thank God I didn't see any ankle. Ugh.
See, it would have been a lot better, too, if they were not 16.
Yeah.
They're 16. No, he was 16.
I think she was 17 and he's 16.
Yeah. Because it was 16 years later, it said 16 years later, right after he was born. It was-
So he was 16 years, and then it took 7 months to travel. So he's 16 years, 7 months, and 3 minutes old when we see him arrive on Earth.
yeah.
Did the math, but thankfully they've wiped the jello from his head. So
Yeah, finally.
after 16 years, 7 months and 3 minutes. That did not land.
Nope.
It's fun because it wasn't. What was happening in Vegas? Like, I get that he was not feeling well, but the whole this isn't real. It's not what I expected. Why? Why was he not enamored by the lights?
Yeah, and why wasn't she like, oh, don't worry, this isn't actually the world. Like, this is just like a little representation. No, she was like, this is just how it is. It's like, oh, no. It's like, no, calm him down. Tell him the truth. What are you doing?
Like, you
And
guys
then
just
he
spent the
passes
night
out.
on a glorious Indian reservation, and instead you're like, well, you don't always get what you want. Here's a pamphlet for the Blue Man Group.
Pamphlet.
Pamphlet. Oh, yeah, it was weird. And, like, see, this is one of the things about the movie, is it has all the necessary components that you need for the plot to move along. but they aren't executed well. They're just sudden, and it just happens, and it's not smooth or transitioned in any good way. It's just like, this is what's
There's no
happening now.
intentionality.
Yeah.
They had all the pieces, but they kept plugging the toaster into the sink, and everything was wired wrong.
And
That's
they're
what we're
making
saying.
up for the beginning.
Kinda, yeah.
Trying to make
I
up for
should
the
sleep.
beginning.
Good night. Just kidding. But yeah, I thought that was a very weird scene. It's very weird. I've written a question here. It's spoiled by Katie's earlier outburst.
I mean, we alluded to it anyway.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
when they
boldly.
made it to the house on the coast, which, by the way, was the most beautiful view I've ever seen.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to live there.
That
Did you
smells
expect
nice.
the guy to not be his dad?
Yeah, I was expecting the Gary Oldman being his dad for quite a while.
You expected that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
To me, that whole thing was gross to me.
What?
Him being his dad. Like,
Oh, yeah.
'cause
Yeah, that was weird.
Because, I mean, I suspected it because of the way he was acting when she died and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, when she died, not he died.
You're acting so
um,
weird when you're dying. Stop it.
But, and I was kind of going, I was like, he's going to be his dad.
I thought
And
maybe
then-
it would be his granddad. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, he's
See,
got to be related somehow. But
At
it's gotta be his
first, like,
granddad.
when he was, like, introducing them as astronauts, I thought, okay, maybe he's her dad. And
Right.
then,
Oh, yeah.
but then when he started, like, watching him, how he was acting when she died, and then how he's acting about the boy being on.
Right.
And I was like, he's keeping the secret. He's not, and then I just felt really gross about it.
Yeah, if your first thought is, oh, that's her dad, and then you find out that it's her husband, then that's gonna feel gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely set myself up for a "Ugh" moment.
Yeah. And like, okay, so
Especially because she looks younger than the 16, 17-year-old girl in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
she kind of does. Another thing I didn't like about the whole thing with the uncle is in that clip they have of them together.
It's
They
very
are-
flirty.
It's
very
very flirty. It is
flirtatious.
not brother and sister.
They
It
lied
is
to us.
playful as heck.
It looked like an old fling. Just
Right.
like I didn't expect like to be like them to be married or anything like that, but I was just like it just like a
Definitely a romantic thing going on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
No one's like, go get the towel, hee hee hee, like that.
I'm not
with
like
their
that with my
brother.
sister.
No, like if my sister would have done that, she would have lit it on fire, thrown it over, and been like, "Go get your towel," and then ran away.
Yeah, if my sister threw a towel down a bunch of stairs that I ran up to get, I'd be like, "What do you?" All right, why?
I'm not gonna
All
take a
right.
picture with you now. You go get the towel. I'm telling mom.
I don't like chase my sister around and try to tickle her. I'm not like 5 anymore.
I would have pushed her down the stairs. Like,
or have her get on your back or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
maybe we all just have real problems with our family.
No, people aren't like that. That was
Yeah, people are
messed
not.
up.
No one's that happy. I refuse to believe. Yeah, but now we get there, and I did like the moment where he's standing out in the ocean, and she runs out there, and he says, "I didn't get to choose where I was born, but I get to choose where I die."
And he just falls over. That was
Well,
kinda
yeah,
silly.
but up until that point, that's where I cried, because I was like, he knows he's gonna die. This is for Mars, and all of this is coming back to me right now.
well, that was really the only good line in there.
But it was a good line.
Yeah, but then afterwards, when he just falls, it's just
It's like,
It
you just
kinda
fell
broke-
over.
it
Just
kinda-
pick him up.
it could have been a beautiful moment. Like it could have been.
Like he just keeps walking out into it.
Yeah, but he just falls over, and that just made it fall apart for me.
But then
Yeah.
how else would Gary Oldman pick him up and then us have a clunky line where he goes, "You're my dad." Like he never fell over and was dying 10 seconds before. Did you like the way he delivered
Yeah.
that line was just like he woke up from a nap, like, but not like, you know, if you sleep a certain amount of time, you'll be really groggy. But he slept just that right amount of time. He woke up and goes, "Hi, you're my dad, right?"
It's like, oh yeah, I got it.
Cool.
All right,
Um,
yeah.
Can we
Like,
get ice
this
cream?
makes sense now.
But yeah, it's like he fell over in 3 feet of water. Like, girl, you can grab him and pull him to
Grab
shore.
his ankles and just pull him back. Yeah,
It's not hard.
There's kelp there. It's not that deep.
You were standing, like
Right next to him.
Yeah.
And the uncle, he was such a jerk. Why
Yeah.
was he
He
such
was
a jerk?
so mean.
To be fair, he lost his sister, and people would come and like claim to be. People do that sometimes to try and get money and recognition and all that stuff. There are people who do these really, really messed up things. But yes, he
But
didn't
16
even like
years
think about it for a
later-
second. He was just like, "Why are you doing this to me? Get out of my house. You're too skinny to be my kid. Go away."
Yeah, it's just like even when
he
he
offered
showed
no explanation.
when he had the picture and showed it to him, he's like, "Get out."
Yeah.
Because like that was proof. He knew at that point. It's like, why are you doing that to your nephew? Come on, dude.
I mean, he could have connected the dots. He wasn't raised on Mars after all.
I think it was just that actor because I've seen that actor in many other things and he's always been that way. Like just dry and then just
It's not good.
So he's the toast in this movie.
pretty much.
Unbuttered. We need some more Butterfield over here.
That's going to get really old.
Well, thankfully we're almost done. But yeah, so basically it's just like, hey, you're my dad. You're really old, and now we're going to Mars again.
Old men.
Gary Oldman. Yes, it's in the name. And then she's gonna live with Kendra. And here's what I find confusing is she goes, I'll age out in a month, and then she's like, well, who said anything about just a month? You can live with me for longer than that. And then she's training her to go to Mars. So she's like, 4 months, then you're out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you're so far out you can leave the planet.
Yeah. Get off my planet.
And then she just kicks her really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess maybe she goes to live on Mars with him later, and
I think that's the
implication,
assumption.
yeah.
they find love.
Yeah, they
Just gonna
found
go with
it.
this theme. Fine.
And then
Love?
I brought it
they
full
make
circle.
Mars babies.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Mars
Mars
babies.
babies.
I did laugh and I groaned at the same time when he ate a Mars bar on the bus.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is the dumbest thing, but I'm really glad they didn't miss the opportunity to do that.
How did I not? I didn't.
You didn't notice
I
that?
didn't realize that. Like I was like, where in the world did he get a Mars bar? Nobody sees Mars, but that was the only thing going through my head. Was like, I only had a Mars bar once, and it was in Scotland. Like,
You can get Mars bars.
They're everywhere.
I don't see Mars
I
bars.
just
You
find
just
it
don't
funny
care
that you
about
didn't
Mars
get the
bars.
pun, but instead you're worried about what
Well, we
gas
should all
station
buy
you stopped
Mars
at.
bars and eat them and then talk about it.
Mars bars are actually pretty good. They're
They're
like
good.
a Three Musketeers, but with more gooey
They're
stuff.
better deep fried.
Oh, I can't eat deep fried stuff anymore.
Oh, dude,
Well, I like deep fried candy bars. I like deep fried Snickers. It tastes like a cookie. I
It's
want-
so
You know they
good.
make deep fried butter?
That's nasty.
How about a deep fried Butterfield? Does that sound better?
Can you please stop with those jokes?
Nope.
I'm getting annoyed.
Oh boy. Oh, now she's got 3 pitchforks. How are you even holding them in? So overall, yes, this movie has problems. But I want to believe, as I've said many times, I want to believe that it's good. And for me, I was the only person in the theater, so I was fully able to just like be like, go, 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 get the play, go, 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 and then cry my eyes out when it was appropriate. And it was a wonderful experience for me.
During the sex scene, everybody in the theater we were in was just like, no. Like, everybody. It was great.
I was like
in
an
a
8-year-old.
theater
I
with
covered
3
my eyes. I was
people.
like, no, this isn't happening. What'd you say?
I said I was in the theater with 3 people, and they were just they were texting the whole time.
Like, why'd you come here?
Well, I enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it an arbitrary rating of 3 Mars bars out of 5. No, 3.5. 3.5 Mars bars out of 5.
That's too high.
In your opinion,
How many Mars bars would you give this out of 5?
2.
2 Mars bars out of 5?
2 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it.
Whoa! That's 1 Mars bar out of 5. Stick to the rating system. Give me one of the pitchforks.
I wanted to do it out of 10, so I could show you I was
Fine,
serious.
I'll give it 7 Mars bars out of 10, and you give it 2 Mars bars out of 10.
2.
Abby?
I'm gonna give it like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 Mars bars out of 10, so 4.5. We're going to average it out.
Sure.
Micah?
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5 Mars bars out of 5. Well,
Wait, out of 10.
The average, yeah. I was trying
Whoa.
to improve the rating.
Sneaky man.
significantly. You got me.
Caught him.
You sneaky minx. No.
What?
It just happened.
Okay.
Don't ask. You sneaky Bartholomew. I can't think of the right word.
Just leave it.
Martian.
Nope. Here we go. I'm gonna do it this time. Here we go.
We'll see.
You sneaky man.
There you go. You really hit the
There
nail
are
on
two
that.
other takes of that no one will ever hear.
But yeah, overall, the movie was like I said, it was all right, and it had everything you needed to be a movie. But all the transitions between plot points were really clumsily done and just kind of blunt. Like after they failed to apprehend the children from one vehicle, they opened a car and found that there were like homeless people in it or something.
Yeah.
And then Gary Oldman's like, "Oh crap," and storms off. Understandably, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to find those kids. And then, for some reason, Kendra's like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, no, that's understandable. And then he gives his whole spiel about what's wrong with him. And then he talks about the chemical they need to look for in him because that's a bad thing.
Troponin, yeah.
For some reason. Well,
They did explain that, though.
Poorly.
The overproduction of troponin in his body has caused him to have... Because I looked it up while I was watching it, but it has to do with muscle growth. But that caused his heart to get too big because of his living in low gravity his whole life, and then when he comes to Earth, his heart can't handle the actual stress of the gravity on our Earth, and it makes it bad. Then he bleeds from his nose because when your heart is bad, the blood squirts out your nasal passages.
Yeah, everybody knows if anything ever happens to you and you're about to die, blood comes out of your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works in movies.
Yes.
Anyway, it's just those sorts of things, weird little details that are messed up here and there. And then there's weird relationships that are built up and kind of developed in that 16 years that happened between the first 15 minutes of the movie and the next part. And they're like, "This is so unlike you." And it's like, we don't even know him.
Idea.
We don't. Is it not like him? And it's like, yeah, is this how you greet me? Yeah, if I haven't seen you in this many years. It's like, all right.
Exposition.
We don't even know you.
Yep.
And it's just a lot of clumsy stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want to see a better movie by this director, there's one called Hector and the Search for Happiness. And it's definitely not for kids. There's a lot of F-bombs, but it's a very enjoyable movie.
I enjoyed it.
It stars the guy who is in Star Trek that is the doctor. Not the doctor, the engineer. Oh, man, I'm forgetting his name.
Simon Pegg?
Simon Pegg.
I love that guy.
Yes, Simon Pegg, brilliant in that movie. Very, very fun to watch. So definitely check that out if you're over 16, probably. But yeah, so that's our review of The Space Between Us. The space between me and the mob that my wife has amassed to torch everyone who likes this movie.
I'm not torching everyone who likes this movie.
Okay.
Just the movie.
Just the movie itself.
Yeah.
We'll find all the hard drives and burn them.
But it was beautifully done as far as the visual effects.
Cool. So at least we all can agree that it looked pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was really close to being good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's also pretty close to being bad, though. So
It exists in limbo, and that's where we're going to leave it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here on Roll Sound. Every week we're going to be doing this. This week was definitely a slow week for movies, and that's why we were stuck with The Space Between Us, which for me was a happy surprise. But next week we've got Lego Batman coming out. We've got John Wick 2, and there's another one coming out that I'm forgetting right now, but there's a lot of fun movies coming out in the next couple of weeks, so I'm excited to get to be talking about those, and we will see you all you'll hear from us. We won't see you because you're listening to this on your phone. So if we do see you, run, I guess.
you can see us if you have a good imagination, but we can't see you.
Yes, use that imagination and draw us pictures of Abby and Katie as cats. But yeah, you can tweet at us. Our Twitter is @RollSoundPod, or you can email us. Our email is rollsoundpod@gmail.com. If you have suggestions for maybe some old movies or TV shows that you want us to take a look at and make jokes about. Should we say goodbye in Moon?
We just did.
Great job, guys. There we go. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.